Imagine a European country with more than 1,000 islands, medieval cities overlooking the Adriatic Sea, mountains rising almost directly behind its coastline, and an economy where millions of international visitors arrive every year. This is Croatia, a country sitting at the geographical crossroads of Central Europe, Southeast Europe, and the Mediterranean. But Croatia is much more than Dubrovnik, beaches, and football. Behind its spectacular coastline lies a fascinating story of geography, population, economic transformation, and remarkably high levels of human development. So, from its unusual crescent-shaped territory and neighboring countries, to its mountains, economy, powerful passport, and global rankings, here is a detailed overview of Croatia. Officially known as the Republic of Croatia, the country covers a total area of approximately 56,594 square kilometers, placing it around 127th globally in terms of area in Notendije. That makes Croatia relatively small by global standards, but its geography makes the country appear much larger and more diverse than the number suggests. Croatia's population stands at approximately 3.8 to 3.9 million people, placing it around 130th globally by population. With roughly 68 people living per square kilometer, Croatia is considerably less densely populated than many Western and Central European countries. Its capital and largest city is Zagreb, located in the northern part of the country near the Sava River. Zagreb is Croatia's political, economic, educational, and cultural center, and is home to roughly one-fifth of the country's population when its wider urban area is considered. Croatia declared independence from Yugoslavia in 1991, became a member of the European Union in 2013, and took another major step toward European integration in 2023, when it joined both the Eurozone and the Schengen area. Croatia's geography becomes particularly interesting when we look at its unusual shape. The country curves around neighboring Bosnia and Herzegovina, and stretches from the fertile plains of Central Europe all the way to the Adriatic Sea. Croatia shares land borders with 5 countries. To the northwest lies Slovenia, while Hungary borders Croatia to the northeast. To the east, Croatia shares a border with Serbia. Its longest international border is with Bosnia and Herzegovina, which lies mainly to the east and southeast, while Montenegro shares a short border with Croatia in the extreme southeast. To the west stretches the beautiful Adriatic Sea, which has shaped Croatian history, culture, trade, and tourism for centuries. And this is where Croatia's geography becomes extraordinary. The country has a highly fragmented coastline stretching for thousands of kilometers when its islands are included, and its waters contain more than 1,200 islands, islets, rocks, and reefs. Only a small proportion of these islands are permanently inhabited, but famous islands such as Krk, Cres, Hvar, Brač, and Korčula have become major tourism destinations. This combination of mountains, plains, islands, and Mediterranean coastline gives Croatia remarkable geographical diversity for such a compact country. Croatia's official currency is the euro, which replaced the Croatian kuna on January 1st, 2023. The country follows Central European Time, or UTC+1, during winter, moving to UTC+2 during daylight saving time. Croatia's international calling code is +385. The country's official language is Croatian, a South Slavic language written primarily using the Latin alphabet. Its national anthem is Lijepa naša domovino, meaning our beautiful homeland. Religion has historically played an important role in Croatian society, with Christianity being the dominant faith and Roman Catholicism representing the country's largest religious community. Croatian identity also reflects a fascinating mixture of Central European, Balkan, and Mediterranean influences, visible everywhere from its architecture and cuisine to its music and local traditions. Croatia operates as a unitary parliamentary republic, where executive authority is primarily exercised by the government. As of 2026, the country's Prime Minister is Andrej Plenković, who has served as head of government since 2016. The President of Croatia is Zoran Milanović, who serves as the country's head of state. Croatia's national legislature is known as the Hrvatski Sabor, or Croatian Parliament. It is a unicameral legislature, meaning Croatia has a single parliamentary chamber. The country's political transformation over the past 3 decades has been remarkable. From becoming independent in the early 1990s, Croatia progressed toward membership of NATO and the European Union before eventually joining both the Schengen area and Eurozone. Today, it is firmly integrated into Europe's major political and economic institutions. Beyond Zagreb, Croatia has several historically and economically important cities. Split, located on the Dalmatian coast, is the country's second largest city and is famous for the extraordinary Diocletian's Palace, originally constructed for the Roman Emperor around the beginning of the 4th century. Rijeka is Croatia's principal seaport and an important center for transportation and industry. Osijek, located in eastern Croatia, serves as a major economic and cultural center of the Slavonia region. Then there is Dubrovnik, one of Croatia's most internationally recognizable cities, whose spectacular fortified old town overlooking the Adriatic is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Croatia also contains an extensive network of rivers. The Sava is one of the country's most important rivers and flows through Zagreb before eventually joining the Danube. Other major rivers include the Drava, Danube, Kupa, and Neretva. Moving toward the coast, Croatia becomes increasingly mountainous. The country's most important mountain system belongs to the Dinaric Alps, which stretch parallel to much of the Adriatic coastline. Croatia's highest point is Dinara, specifically the peak known as Sinjal, which rises approximately 1,231 meters above sea level. The contrast between these rugged mountains and the Adriatic coastline creates some of Croatia's most dramatic landscapes, and Croatia's natural attractions don't end there. The country is home to Plitvice Lakes National Park, famous for its interconnected turquoise lakes, forests, waterfalls, and limestone formations. Croatia possesses natural resources including oil, natural gas, coal, bauxite, gypsum, salt, clay, silica, forests, and significant hydropower potential. But modern Croatia's economy depends far more heavily on services, manufacturing, trade, and tourism than on extracting natural resources. Its economy has grown considerably since joining the European Union, and recent IMF estimates show Croatia continuing to record relatively strong economic growth within the Eurozone. Its economy measured at purchasing power parity is well above 150 billion, reflecting a much larger economic output than its relatively small population might initially suggest. Agriculture remains especially important in rural regions, producing crops such as wheat, maize, grapes, olives, sunflower seeds, fruits, and vegetables. But Croatia's international economic superstar is undoubtedly tourism. Its Adriatic coastline, historic cities, islands, national parks, and Mediterranean climate attract millions of international visitors, making tourism a crucial source of employment, investment, and foreign exchange. Croatia has also produced globally recognized companies and technologies. One particularly interesting example is electric hypercar manufacturer Rimac, demonstrating how Croatia is gradually developing a reputation for advanced engineering and technology alongside its traditional tourism economy. Croatia's transformation becomes even clearer when we look at international rankings. In the World Happiness Report, Croatia has climbed substantially compared with its position a decade ago and now sits within roughly the world's top 40 happiest countries, reflecting improvements in living standards, social support, and overall life evaluation. Croatian citizens also possess one of the world's strongest passports. According to the Henley Passport Index 2026, Croatia ranks 8th globally, providing access to 182 destinations without obtaining a prior visa. That puts the Croatian passport in the same elite mobility group as some of Europe's most developed nations. Croatia also falls within the very high human development category of the United Nations Human Development Index. Its HDI is around 0.89, reflecting strong outcomes in areas such as life expectancy, education, and income. The country's Gender Development Index is close to 1.0, meaning female and male achievements across the core human development dimensions are relatively similar. Together, these indicators reveal a country that has undergone an enormous transition in just over 3 decades. From war and economic disruption in the 1990s to membership of the European Union, Eurozone, and Schengen area today. So, Croatia's story is much bigger than its famous beaches. From the mountains of the Dinaric Alps to the turquoise lakes of Plitvice, from Zagreb's urban streets to more than 1,000 islands scattered across the Adriatic, Croatia packs extraordinary geographical diversity into just over 56,000 square kilometers. If you enjoyed exploring Croatia, subscribe to The Fellow Learner, because our journey through the countries of the world is far from over. And tell us in the comments, if you could visit only one Croatian destination, would you choose Dubrovnik, Split, Zagreb, Plitvice Lakes, or one of its Adriatic islands? We'll see you in the next country profile.